What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. All right, so before I get into this video, shout out to the man, the myth, the legend, the brother, Robert Mason, coming through with donations to the channel via the PayPal. Lover of old school basketball, lover of UCLA ball, big time Golden State Warriors fan, and lover of old school basketball. Salute to you for showing love. Shout out to Dreamers Pro. He did a video on this topic about maybe 30 minutes ago, an hour ago. So salute to him. Please subscribe to his channel. So look, the start of the NBA season is upon us. I think preseason starts today, if I'm not mistaken. And the NBA season starts in about 2 weeks, I believe now. About 2 weeks. So here we are at the start of the 2025-26 season, and Russell Westbrook does not have a team. Of course, he is not the player that he once was, but he still has a lot left in the tank. He can still be a contributor, especially as he's reinvented himself as a six man and has shown his worth and his mettle for defense and clutch performances, especially down the stretch of games. Key buckets, a timely block, a timely steal, can knock down key free throws in pressure situations. Although I know his free throw percentage is taking a little bit of a hit as of late. Some of that has to do with the changes as far as speeding up the game and his old free throw routine, which was a little bit more, timely, I guess. But anyway, Kendrick Perkins, right, on his YouTube podcast that he shares with Richard Jefferson, and I'm forgetting the woman's name. What is her name? I can't remember the name right now, but they talked about how Russell Westbrook is not on any NBA team. And here's Kendrick Perkins saying that he thinks it has to do with the fallout between Russ and LeBron James, which is something that I have alluded to for quite some time. I thought that it had a lot to do with the fallout between LeBron James and the media punishing Russell Westbrook for that.
As the training camp started, and Russell Westbrook is not on the roster.
I'd like to believe that that's by choice. He's waiting for the right opportunity.
I believe that's not by choice. Now, let me say this. This very situation, this moment right here that we're in, Russell Westbrook not being on the roster, is what hurt me and Russell Westbrook personal relationship. Because on sometime 3-4 years ago, when he was on the Lakers roster, okay, and reports came back to me from general managers around the league, and I said it on television, that, hey, man, Russ got to be careful now. The rumor is around the league word around the league is that if he don't be careful, temper it down, he might find himself out the league. Okay? This is what I said. After that, I get a long paragraph from his wife, Nina. She reads me her rights, or thought she did. I thought you would never turn your back. After that, our relationship was over with, right? Because then my wife get involved. They go back and forth because I ain't doing nothing but doing my job. And I'm not killing Russ, right? I'm not killing them. These are reports. But here we are, right? At this very moment, Well, Russ opted out of his last year with Denver, right? He opted out. He had a player option. The only team that had interest from reports is Sacramento. And here we are starting the season, and Russell Westbrook is not on the roster. Do I believe he should be? Absolutely. I think he should be on the Milwaukee Bucks right now. I really do. But the reality is that for the first time in probably the last 15 years, Russell Westbrook is not on a roster.
Now you heard what Kendrick Perkins had to say there. My first thoughts are, unless I missed something, maybe my ears missed something there. What exactly did Russell Westbrook need to temper down about, or he be out of the league? What exactly did he need to temper down about? You know, so the only thing I can think of, and this is what has been reported, because he did mention Russ's wife, right? From what I understand, it had something to do with an altercation that occurred between LeBron James and Russell Westbrook. If I'm not mistaken, remember when Russ was with a member of the Lakers, and there was an incident that occurred supposedly between Russ's wife. I think maybe Russ's wife is Russ's mother-in-law. I think it might have been. And some fans supposedly were yelling and saying things to them, and I think somebody even touched her. I don't want to say inappropriate, like in a sexual manner, but just touched her and bullying them is kind of what I'm trying to say, right? All because of the whole Russell Westbrook shit. And supposedly when LeBron James heard about that, he said something to the effect of, off the record, well, if he starts playing like shit, then all of it will stop. That's pretty much what I heard that he said through the grapevine. Russell Westbrook supposedly had an altercation. And this is like what I've heard, okay? I can't prove this, but that's kind of falls in line with what he's saying, but not saying. So Russ supposedly had an altercation with LeBron James, said something to him. Because remember, these guys were neighbors. And this shady ass nigga LeBron James is acting like this. That's where I think Kendrick Perkins is saying, look, be careful, you might find yourself out the league. This dude got power, blah, blah, blah. And I guess the wife stood up for Russ, got into it with Kendrick Perkins' wife, whatever. Maybe they were friendly at one point in time, probably were. They were teammates on OKC for so long. And, you know, that fits. That fits. You know, this is the thing, man. The whole Russell Westbrook fiasco has a lot to do with why I am the way I am about LeBron James now. I've been a big Russell Westbrook fan ever since he was a rookie. I kind of liked him in UCLA, but I really liked him and became a huge fan ever since he was a rookie with the Oklahoma City Thunder. And it just reminds me of his play style of the 90s. The problem is his play style has become antiquated with how the players play today. You know, Russ was more of a slasher with a knack for defense back in his collegiate days, but as defense has become less pronounced and less emphasized, it was more about scoring and then triple doubles. But I love the way Russ played. Unfortunately, a lot of people don't like the way that he plays, and but they forget that the year before he joined the Lakers, Russell Westbrook averaged a triple-double for the Washington Wizards and helped to take them to the playoffs. Now, remember, this wasn't his team. This was Bradley Beal's team. But the media, who have kind of had this thing against Russ ever since the incident happened between him and Kevin Durant. So they already kind of had an anti-Russ thing, element in the media. There was already this anti-Russ element in the media. You had people saying that he shouldn't have won the MVP, right? because the Thunder were the 6th seed, but many of those same people was changing their tune for Jokic when he won the MVP as a 6th seed. Well, but he had to deal with injuries. Well, yeah, but Kevin Durant fucking left the team. And they were predicted to be like an 8th seed or miss the playoffs. But I remember Russ was player of the month, April of 2021. He averaged insane numbers, like 24 points, something like 14 rebounds, 16 assists for the month. I remember people were saying that he's like a top 5 point guard all time, which I don't agree with, and I'm a Russ fan. But then for him to go from being a max player, putting up these historic numbers, and taking over the squad, basically from Bradley Beal, and then he joins the Lakers, which I knew was going to be a disaster because Russell Westbrook and LeBron James don't fit each other's games. They play the same play style. It's not going to work. Russ is not a spot-up shooter. It's not going to work. Unless maybe you have Russ exclusively coming off the bench, but that's not what was going to happen. And even that would take some getting used to, right? For a guy that's been used to coming into games in certain times and certain situations. So I knew it was going to be an impending disaster. And it was. And I believe what my brother 78 Sports TV said from the get-go. LeBron James had Russell Westbrook to be the lightning rod for criticism for losing because he was going to go out there and shoot the basketball and power his way to an NBA record, which he thought was going to make him the GOAT, which still doesn't make him the GOAT. And the minute that he did that, they were going to trade Russell Westbrook. And that's exactly what happened. The very next day after LeBron broke their record, they traded Russell Westbrook, even though they insisted that they couldn't trade him before that, right? Now, this guy can't get a job. He can't get one job in the NBA. And you got guys who are completely donezo, and they're getting positions on teams. Russell Westbrook still has something left in the tank. Russ can still get you easily 11, 12 points per game off the bench, 5, 6 rebounds, 4 or 5 assists. You know, his 3-point shooting, that would be great, but it's improved somewhat. He probably can shoot like 33, 34% from 3, but he can hit timely threes. He shoots better from the corners than from the longer angle. But he still has that drive, that tenaciousness. He still can provide leadership. He still can provide that veteran leadership. He still, you know what I'm saying, could be a valuable commodity on the defensive end. And he's the perfect guy to get if you're a team that struggles with getting the 50-50 balls. He's the perfect guy to get that, for you to get, if you struggle with that. So no, he should be in the NBA, but he's not because of a petty ass fucking dude who thinks he knows every fucking thing. That everybody's supposed to kiss his stinking ass. That he's exempt from criticism. He can take his 40-year-old ass on a live stream with a bunch of young boys and give out gifts like he's grooming them. Weirdo ass nigga. And, you know, it is what it is. Fuck him. And they also, you know what I'm saying, in my opinion at least, they're blackballing him because of the fact that Russ is in line to break some records. Russ is in line this year to join LeBron James as the only players with 25,000 points and 10,000 assists. That may not happen. Russell is about to become the all-time leading scorer for a point guard, passing Oscar Robertson. That might not happen now. Russell's on line to become the all-time leading, rebounder for a point guard. That's not going to happen. Well, I'm not going to say it's not going to happen, but it looks like it's in jeopardy. All because some dude is petty and wants to flaunt his power. Russ went from being a max contract guy to make him mid-level exception money. It's a disgrace. And I'll never forgive this nigga for that shit, LeBron James. Never. And maybe these NBA players are too pussy to say it, but I'm not. He's a piece of shit, man.